feel like the thing I need right now is a Metal Gear game so I could take my mind off something and be like interested in something else's story, but I can't.
Well,
So I might have to download MGS5 just to finish it, so I
wait,
could
what
have
order?
something.
What order are you planning on playing the games in?
Well, I can't get 2 or 3 right now, so I'm just gonna or 4. So, I mean, I still can't get 4 because I have to order it. So I'm just gonna play 5 right now. It's the
I
one I
mean, yeah.
have. And
Just as whatever
Vengeance.
you do, make sure you play Metal Gear Solid 4 last, because that game requires you to play 1 through 3, but just 1 through 3, because 5 wasn't really thought about. They didn't think about a 5th game when that game was made, but you're really gonna need to play the first 3 to understand the 4th one, because if you don't, then you'll be very confused.
I've played 1. I played the first one. I've beat Metal Gear Solid. Why am I still watching this video?
What?
Blend weed.
What?
That's a video. It's called Blend W. Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I really need to get another asphyxiation. I need to be fixated to something else.
Yeah, because I don't have another monitor, I have to read chat from my phone.
Snoop Dogg.
I'm posting in Massey Sports.
You can't blink while watching this video, or else you'll miss 3 hours of editing.
What?
This video is so high quality that you'll miss 3 hours of editing if you blink. That's how much editing went into this video. He literally redrew over the characters' faces so they look like Snoop Dogg. All of them. It's like the Obama one. I mean, okay, so I'm very glad the Obama source is done, so I don't have to watch anything else because of morbid curiosity. That's literally the reason I watched it, was because of an Obama video of Obama synced up to the intro, right? And it
Yeah.
was morbid curiosity of what the show was. That is the reason I watched it. Literally, if it was not for Obama, then I would not have watched
You
it.
know what I'm hoping for the PS5?
But
Knack 3, baby.
Knack 3, baby.
My guidance counselor.
Why would I go to a restaurant like this? To like, I don't get the point. It looks like a really
What
like
are
you
you
go to a restaurant.
watching?
I'm just thinking about the show and like its real world consequences. If there was a restaurant like this, I would go. It's like I want
What
it.
show?
Blend S.
Oh.
It's just about a coffee shop where everyone plays a role that is supposed to make people horny or something like that. And I'm like, why would I go to this restaurant? It's like, I want to order an omelet, and they're like, I'm what you want. Give, I cannot. I just thinking how the show would be better with Obama in it. Like, he's like, let me be clear, omelet is really good. I think I could give you the omelet.
Alright, it's starting soon. We're gonna see Knack 3 and Metal Gear Solid 6.
I would love to see MGS6 by Kojima.
Really, the only directions I can see Metal Gear Solid 6 going in is either Metal Gear Rising 2, which would... It's either the beginning of the timeline or the end of the time, like after Metal Gear Rising or before Metal Gear Solid 3.
It's really weird because there was supposed to be a Metal Gear Rising 2, but then Kojima was fired. So there was a teaser for MGS or Metal Gear Rising 2, but they canceled it because they couldn't make it. But there's also plans for a Metal Gear Solid 6. It's really
Yeah.
weird. So there if Sony buys,
My
if Sony
prediction is that
buys
if
this, then I'm gonna get both of them.
for Metal Gear Solid 6, it would be like the first game in the timeline take place before Metal Gear Solid 3, and if it's Metal Gear Rising 2, it would obviously take place like at the end of the timeline after the first game. That's like what I can see happening.
I mean, Metal Gear Rising 2 would obviously just be like the weirdest fucking game ever made. It would be so weird if they released. It would be really funny if they released it.
Also, with the whole thing about like Snake still possibly being alive during that game, I don't understand it because he's like old as shit and like he has fast aging. Like by the time he's 47, he looks like he's 80.
Yeah, it's really weird, but they talk. I feel like Raiden or something talks like in the present tense about him. So like that. It's like,
But that makes me think like, is he just like in a robot now? Like, did they put his brain into a robot, and is that how he's still alive?
I don't know. They're probably gonna pull something about like memes or whatever and make it central to the plot again. The memes, Raiden. You gotta understand. The memes. They kept me alive. That'd be a really funny plot point. Is that? I mean, that was a plot point in the first game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was about like.
Well, the first one was
fucking-
about like it used the actual definition of memes, which is not like funny images. Apparently, it's like a I don't know. It's like basically an example is that if you see someone wearing a shirt that you like, you'll want that shirt, or like if you see someone with lots of money, you'll want money, or something like that.
That was definitely Kojima wanting to put memes as a plotline in the game and demanding they do it, and they said, "Yeah, we'll figure it out."
I mean, they also said wipe this meme from the face of the earth at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Obama, Obama. Yeah, I don't think I go to a restaurant like this. I don't think I go to a cafe like this. Like, what the fuck? Am I supposed to order an omelet? And they're like, "Are you sure you want to order the omelet?" Like, yes, I want to order the omelet.
Alright, right now we have 2 viewers.
Oh my god, the chat. It's so fast.
Who's
Chris, are you
there?
watching the PlayStation Road to PS5?
Yo.
Are you
We're
watching
the
the...
Road to PS5, the PlayStation
Am
stream.
I watching what?
The Road to PS5, the PlayStation stream.
Okay. I just woke up.
I woke up like 3 hours ago and I drank like half of Monster Energy, so then, because I haven't drank one in like 2 weeks.
Premieres in 60 seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it premieres in 60 seconds.
The 60 seconds isn't going down.
Well, yeah, yes, if they give it 60 seconds.
What does that mean?
Give it 60! Trump 2020 in the chat!
Alright. So, people watching my stream, this is Ionis. He is a degenerate.
What is that supposed to mean?
Freaking Wi-Fi. What are you watching it on?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay. My Wi-Fi just went to bed a little bit. I'm gonna ask Brandon if he wants to go play laser tag outside.
Be sure to stay 6 feet away from him.
I mean, that's kind of the point of laser tag outside. I don't think there's a situation in where we would be 6 feet close to each other.
Okay. So Chris, I was discussing why would you go to the Blendg cafe? Would you go to that actual cafe if that was real? Would you go to it?
Would I go to it?
Yeah, would you go to it?
Do they only sell coffee? Because I don't really drink.
No, they don't only sell coffee. I think they sell like.
If I was going with my friends, I
sell
want the one.
almonds.
I want the one that makes me feel like I'm a
Yeah, but it's like, what if you just like, it's like, oh damn, I need an omelet today, and you go there and they're like, you are garbage. And it's like, okay, can I?
I like
order
the
an
you are
omelet?
garbage one. That's funny.
The you are garbage one. Like, yeah, I don't think I'd go there. I mean, I think I'd go there.
I,
but
I
it would
probably
be-
wouldn't. I go there if I go there if I went there with friends.
That would be even worse. You know how horrible that would be. It would be like, we'd be doing like a bit or something, and we go there. It's like, nice to meet you. I really like an omelet. And then like they do their bit, and you react with just the most like still face. Your face doesn't move. You just sit there like, thank you. Oh, very much like an omelet. I think that'd be really funny. But are those like that's not real, right? They don't.
No, they exist in real life.
Those exist.
I think so.
I like
That's hilarious.
I like the YouTube premiere music.
I think it's only though the make you feel like shit or the make you feel like master. It's either one, but I don't think any of the other ones exist.
I mean,
I don't know what the other.
To be the little sister one, that has to be really specific. Like you got to get someone.
I mean, there are
4'2".
there are raccoon cafes. So
Raccoons?
have you never heard of like animal cafes?
Actually, I have. I went to one with chickens in it, and they
There's like
jumped on my
raccoon
omelet.
cafes. So I'm
The
sure
chicken
there's
jumped
like.
on my mom's omelet. Look it. And there were cats everywhere. I wanted to pet the cats. It looked like a barn. I was in Florida.
Stop feeding the cats!
There were just cats and chickens, and we just ate. I don't remember why there was chickens.
I mean,
but there were.
I know there's like cafes that will call me master. I mean, that's like those are pretty common, but
Would
those
they
are
call you
actually
an asshole?
no master.
Master. Why would I want to be called Master?
Yeah, no,
Unless they're Alfred
gross.
from Batman, I don't want to see it. Like,
Unless they're
if they're Alfred from Batman, it's like, Master Wayne, what would you like for breakfast?
Master Wayne, I turned myself into a tangerine. I'm Tangerine Alfred.
I'm Tangerine Alfred. Like they give you a tangerine and no one's there, just a tangerine, and it's like, Master Wayne, I turned myself into a tangerine. I'm Tangerine Alfred.
Hi. Unfortunately, we have to cancel the talk that we had planned.
They canceled the talk.
Fuck!
Some
We waited like 3 minutes to cancel the talk.
and who better to bring that to you than the one and only Mark Sony. Without further ado,
Mark Sony! This guy, Mark Cerny's name is close enough to being Mark Sony. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Mark Sony.
What's his name?
Mark Cerny.
Actually,
Yeah, his name is Mark Cerny.
that isn't off. That isn't a Nintendo Switch in front of him.
I think you all know.
That's
I'm
not.
a
It's the
fan of
Sony console.
generation.
Oh my
Sony
God, I have one
Vaio.
of those right there.
6 or 7
What are
years,
the
console
PlayStation
arrived
3's right there? I'm looking at it.
with new capabilities. There's a lot of
But it's just that
learning
there is the
by the
worst
game
console, you know
developers,
that, right?
hopefully not
What?
too overwhelming.
Was the worst
and
one?
Soon there's games that could never have
Yes,
been
it might have had bad development
Now,
kits
it
in it,
used
so
to
no
be
one
that
could
the
develop
consoles
games
could
for it, which is
somehow
why, despite it being
intuit what would be
stronger,
the best
it had a lot of
capabilities
bad
for the
ports
console,
because its
and they build
interface
it
was
in
not
complete
intuitive.
secrecy.
But it was
For
awesome.
the PlayStation consoles, that
Metal Gear
period lasted
Rising was
through
on it.
PlayStation 3. A powerful
And Metal
and
Gear Solid
groundbreaking
4.
console, but
Yeah.
also one that caused
Sonic
quite a lot of
Unleashed.
heartache, as it was
Okay, it
initially
didn't run well on
difficult
that.
to develop.
It had unlocked
Exactly.
frame rate, but it
So,
also went down to
starting
1
with
frame.
PlayStation 4, we've
Exactly.
taken a different approach, roughly centered around 3 principles.
See, listening to
First of
developers
these
was
is
because of the
listening to
PS3.
developers, which is to say
Yeah.
that a lot of what we put into a console derives
PS2 was so
directly
good
from
because
the
everyone
needs
made
and
games for it,
aspirations
but
of the creators.
PS3,
We
a lot of
definitely
ports
do
were
have
just
some
worse.
ideas
Like,
of our own, but
I
at the
heard
core
it
of our
was
philosophy
stronger,
for designing
but
consoles
a lot
is
of
that
ports were
game
just worse
players
in the
are here
360
for the
because the
fantastic.
360 was like the easiest
Which
to
is to
develop
say
games
that
on.
game creators matter.
And the Wii was the Wii.
Anything we
We do-
can do.
Nintendo's
to
like,
make life
we're doing
easier
stupid shit
I feel
now."
like
help
I feel
them
like
realize their dreams.
each generation,
We
the
will
most
do.
successful console will get a
about
lot of
once every 2
shovelware. I think
years,
that's just
I
When were they
tradition.
never- when were they never
I
doing
go to the
stupid
various
shit? I think stupid shit's
developers and
smart.
publishers, sit down
It is
and
smart, but
discuss
they
how
didn't
they're
do that
doing
during the
with current
GameCube era.
consoles and what they'd like to see
Yeah.
in future consoles.
I guess.
This
Yeah.
requires weeks on
This
the
is
road,
ASMR.
reaching the
This
bulk
is
of the
this
game
is really
creators,
weird.
involves talking to well over 100 people.
I'm really
something like
curious, are the people in the audience actual
creators.
people or just like
and it is
Now
incredibly
they're moving a
valuable.
little
okay.
I don't know. I
By
don't
the
think
way,
that. I don't think the guy with no hair is
most
moving.
requested by the developer, that was an SSD.
This was most
Which
impressive.
we were very happy to put in the hardware, but a lot of
What the fuck is
problem
the
solving
noise?
was
Yeah,
required. I'll be doing a deep dive on
PlayStation
the
3.
I'm gonna meet
SSD
you.
and surrounding
Who's this?
systems later on.
Oh, this is McQueen.
PlayStation 3 was very
It's also key to make a generational
very-
leap
it's
while
very key.
keeping the console sufficiently
Because
familiar to
the
game developers.
icon of the
I think
generation.
about this in terms of balancing
He's whispering.
evolution
It's really.
and
I don't
revolution.
like this.
Now,
I'm gonna
with
close the
PlayStation
blinds.
1,
This thing
2,
will
and
fucking-
3, the target was a revolution each time with a
I can't see the
brand new
screen
feature
because of my
set.
blinds.
That was great
There's-
in many ways,
so,
but time
This
for
is boring.
developers to get up
This
and
is
running
boring.
went
Talk
long
about the
before
PS5.
In the past, I've called this
So
time
I have a bit of a
to
problem with my room,
Here's
and
what I
that my
have for
room,
those 3 consoles. To be clear, I'm not talking about time to make a game. Developers will be ambitious.
So I
and
got
it
a
may
problem
take
with this
them
room,
6
and that my
years or
room,
so to
like,
realize their vision.
uh,
What I'm talking about
3
is
out
that
of the
dead
4
time
walls have
before
windows on
graphics
them.
and other aspects of game development are up and running.
Even then, 2 of
trying
the
to
3
minimize
walls have like big windows on
On the
them.
other hand, if we're trying to reduce that dead time to 0, that means the
And the
hardware
bed
architecture
has
can't
is
change at all.
surrounded by
We're
like
handcuffed.
windows.
We need to judge for each feature
Mark
what
Cerny
value it adds,
ASMR.
and whether it's worth the increase in developer time needed to support it. So with PlayStation 4,
There it
we
is.
were able to strike a pretty good balance between performance and familiarity. We got required learning back to PlayStation 1 levels. With PS5, the GPU was definitely the area we felt the most tension between adding new features and keeping a familiar
feature.
programming model. Ultimately,
No.
I think we've ended up with something under a month of
logo.
getting up to speed.
Dude, that looks
That's
sick!
what I'm striking about the right balance. I'll go into a bit
Man,
more
I'm gonna have a
detail later
logo
today
sitting in
about
my
our
room.
philosophy with the GPU and the specific
Oh, this
feature
is
set
like
that
how
we
long it takes for people to learn it. Notice how it took 6 to 12
also very
months to learn
important
the
for us.
PS3.
People are
The
pissed in the
hardware
chat.
team to
People are
find
pissed in the
new
chat.
dreams, by which I mean
This is a
something
52-minute
other than
thing,
CPU
by the way.
performance, GPU performance.
Should I
We announced
self-quarantine?
The increase in graphics performance over the past 2 decades has been
saw
astonishing.
someone say
but
rap
there are
in the
other
chat.
areas in which we can innovate and provide
Xbox Series
significant
X,
value to
FF.
game creators
Is this a
and
German?
to them, the players. That's why the SSD is very much on our list of
boring.
directions to
Z
explore,
Jojo,
regardless of what
dislike
changes
time
happen
pog.
with game developers and
The
publishers.
chat is horrible.
Who said this guy is
biggest feature
Mr.
in
Rogers
this
for
category
gaming? Who
is the
said
power
that?
engine for audio. That's
Xbox
today's
is
final
trash.
The push for vastly
F
improved
to the
audio, and in
PS4.
particular, 3D audio isn't something that came out
Xbox
of
is
developer
dead.
meetings. It's much
Sony
more the
fans are
case
really
that we
saying
had a
Xbox is
dream
dead,
of
and they
what
have
might
barely
be
said anything
possible
about the PS5.
5 years from now.
They're just
And they
saying how
worked out
long
a
it'll
number of
take to
steps we
learn.
could take to set us on that path. So here again are the 3 principles. The first being enabling the desires of developers to drive.
I don't think those people are real. I'm
To
really
me,
worried.
the
I don't
SSD
think they're
really is
alive.
the key to the next generation. It's a game changer. And it was the #1 ask
Oh,
from
it's
developers.
just like ASMR.
As
This
in,
is really
we
bothering
know
me.
it's probably impossible, but can you put an
Half the
SSD?
chat's not speaking
That was
English.
a discussion we were also having internally.
How are they
It
watching
was clear
this?
that the presence of a hard
Yes,
drive
they
in
are.
every
All of them are
PlayStation
speaking
4
English.
was having
They're not all
positive
speaking
There's
English.
people
A
speaking
lot of
Arabic.
things that seem
Okay, there's
something
one
And
person speaking
Korean.
Japanese. No, that's
And,
Japanese, not
and
Korean.
Korean. Japanese
I
and
didn't-
Korean
It's
and
like
Arabic
Korean.
and Spanish.
when we were having these
Is that
conversations,
Chinese?
developers
Yeah.
were already banging up against the limits of the hard drive. And a
That's
lot of
Russian!
developers
They're
started
speaking Russian!
designing around slow load speed.
Are they?
I saw a Russian one. I saw
One
Russian.
I
focus
can't
on
read it
just
that
one
fast.
number,
Someone said visit
which is
Peru.
how long it takes to load a gigabyte of data
I think
from
that's
a hard drive.
Spanish or
The
French.
difficulty being that hard drives
It's-
are neither particularly fast nor
I thought it
flexible.
was Puerto Rico.
If all your data is in
Sorry, I don't
megabytes,
know.
which is frankly not very likely,
Let me check. Maybe there's
you can load
subtitles.
50 to 100 megabytes a second, depending on
Yeah,
where the
there's
data is
English
located
auto-generated
on the
and
hard
it's in
drive.
beta.
Let's assume it's on the outer edge, which means loading a gigabyte takes 10 seconds. If you compress your game packages, you can fit more data on the Blu-ray disc and also effectively boost your hard drive read speed by the compression.
Xbox is
I
better.
see.
We support
PS5, not
PlayStation
4.
4. That gets you
Thank you.
something
Brazil!
like 50% more data on the disc and 50% higher effectiveness.
Look how he speaks. You can't see speak.
Unfortunately, though, it's highly likely that your data is scattered around in
I'm
various
back in
files
30
on the
years.
hard
The
drive,
chat makes no
as
sense.
well as sourced from multiple
Oh,
locations.
it's just a mess.
So
The chat is a
lots of
mess.
steps are needed at 2 to 50-ish milliseconds.
It's people just writing Z.
My rule of
Have our
PS5
teachers told us
drive is
anything about stuff?
2/3 of its time CPU,
They said it's.
and only 1/3 of its time actually.
What do we? What exactly are we
Putting
doing
all
on
that
Thursday?
together, a gigabyte is
Thursday?
very
What?
roughly
We're getting
20 seconds
schoolwork.
to load from a hard drive.
Is that it? Are we not doing like
Now,
online
a
classes or anything?
gigabyte is not much.
I
data.
have no
Games
idea.
are using 5 or
I'll look
6
it up.
gigabytes of RAM.
I think
on
we just got an
PlayStation
email
4, so
about something.
boot times and load times can
Jungler,
get
show
pretty
sent an email.
Or to put that differently, as a player, you wait for the game to boot, wait for the
Gonna
game
throw
to
an
load,
SSD.
This guy,
wait
this
for the
guy is
level
so
to
boring. Holy
reload
crap!
every
This
time
guy's
you
actually
load.
I
the
want to
most
see.
boring
I
thing in
want
the
to see
world.
games.
Called
I want
Gonna
to
throw an
see games.
SSD through Mark
all
Cerny's
of that
window.
leads to the dream.
Someone said I'm going to
What
play
if we could
Fortnite
have
in the
not
chat.
just a
That's how bored he
but
is.
a blindingly fast SSD. If we could load 5 gigabytes.
Why is he
a
just
second, what
ASMRing?
would
This
change?
is really weird.
Now,
He's
as
speaking.
Yeah, it
Why-
sounds like
why are they
ASMR.
just telling us the
It actually
hardware?
sounds like ASMR.
I want to know the
If you have
games.
a 5 gigabyte a second SSD, you
Oh,
can
wait,
read
this is
data
actually, like,
from
good, though.
1,000 different
Let's just
locations
see,
in
like, it got
seconds.
boosted. Look at the boosted.
As for time to load a gigabyte, this is next gen we're talking about. So
Look at the
obviously,
look at the
instead, we
difference.
should
It's
be
50 to
asking
100
how long
megabytes to
load
5
2
gigabytes.
And the answer is about a quarter of a second. I mean, that's amazing. We're talking 2 orders.
They're
of
like,
magnitude.
all right, they're
Mark
actually
Cerny
boosted.
ASMR.
Roughly
I'm about to
100
open another
times
tab right now.
which means at
I'm
5
gonna-
gigabytes a second.
I mean,
for
it's
the
not gonna be
the
that
potential
fast,
is
but,
that
I mean, that's
the
what they
game
think it's
boots
gonna
in a
be.
second. There are no.
Oh my
load
God, they
speeds,
made
and
Star
it just
Wars.
Fades down while loading a half dozen gigabytes and fades back up again. Same
That's
for
not
the
how it
PS5
works.
is so strong.
We're going to
action
the
after you die.
poop
And
zone.
fast travel
the poop
becomes so
portal.
fast
Are they gonna
that
show
one
it?
can
I really
use
want them to
as
show
game
it.
Why is that?
creators,
Why the
they're
heck is
trying to
everyone
distract the
sleeping?
player from
I
how
really
long
hope it
that
Right
look-
now,
game
it's
is,
like, what
those
time is it
Spider-Man
in
subway
West
rides,
Coast?
to being
I
so
really hope it
blindingly
looks the
fast
exact
that we
same
don't
as the
even
dev
have
seven,
kit.
that
it's, no, it's
transition there.
9.
Pretty cool,
9/11.
right?
I really
But
hope it
for
looks
me,
the
this
exact
is
same as
not
the
the
dev
primary
kit.
reason to change
I really hope it
from
has the
to
cup
an
holder
SSD.
because I get to put my
The
Avengers
primary
cup on it.
reason for an ultra-fast SSD is that it gives
I'm
the
hungry.
game designer
Give it a
freedom.
cup holder.
Or to put that differently, with a hard drive, the
Star
time
Wars.
It's
taken
spam
And
and
that's
check,
not when you
give it a
said
cup
Star
holder.
Wars.
can sabotage the game that the developer
This guy
is
put
trying to
snails.
create. I think almost all of us in the room have experienced
Is that Sonic
this, maybe
06?
in different ways. Say we're making an adventure game and we have two rich environments where we each want enough textures and models to fill memory.
I don't
Which you
care.
can do as long as you have a long staircase or elevator ride or a windy corridor where you can ditch the old assets and then take 30 seconds or so to load the new assets. Having a
Look,
30-second
Sony, my
elevator
entire
ride
related
is
video
a
columns
little
for this
extreme.
PS5
More
thing is
realistically,
ASMR
we probably
videos right now.
chop
I'm
the
just
world
saying.
into a number of smaller pieces and then do some calculations with sight lines and run speeds like we did
luckily
for
that's not what mine is.
Haven City when we were making Jack 2. The game is
Jack
20 years
2.
old, but not much has changed since then. All those twisty passages are there for a reason.
What?
There's a whole subset of level design dedicated to this sort of work.
Holy crap.
But still, it's a giant distraction for a
I got
team
accepted
that
in
just
pre-college.
wants to make their game.
Awesome.
So when I
Hold on.
talked about the dream of an SSD, part of the reason for that 5 gigabyte a second target was to eliminate
Someone,
noise, but also part of the
Eurogamer
reason
just
for
put
that
PS5,
target
the
is
specs.
as
Oh
you
my
know,
god!
if the SSD
Think
is
the
so
specs are already
fast that
released.
as the player is turning it on,
So why are
it's
they
possible to
going
load textures
over
for
them again?
everything behind the player in that split second. If you figure that it takes half a second to turn, that's 4 gigabytes of compressed data you can load. That sounds about right.
One
for
turn
next gen.
takes 4
Anyway,
gigabytes.
back to the hard drive. Another strategy
Okay,
for increasing
Mark
effective
Cerny.
read speed
But what
is
if I
make
want to
big
play like
sequential
Sonic
chunks of
06 and
For
like
example, we might group
all the
data
game is loaded
together
at
for each
once?
city block. That removes most of the seeks.
Oh my
and the
god,
streaming
purple
gets
guy.
faster.
I'm
But there's a
tired.
downside too, which is
Because
that
this video
frequently
is
used
boring.
data is included in many
I'm gonna get a
chunks and
monster.
therefore is on the hard drive many.
like
many
half
times.
of one. Like I'm not gonna drink a
Marvel's
full one. I'm not
Spider-Man
crazy.
uses this strategy, and though it works
Spider-Man?
very well for increasing the
Huh?
streaming speed,
Spider-Man 2.
there's
I just
a
heard
massive
Spider-Man.
duplication as a result. Some of the objects, like mailboxes or news racks,
Oh no,
are on
dots.
the hard drive 400 times.
Spider-Man. There's too
What
many
I'm
terrorists. You gotta
describing
get
here
them.
are things that cramp a creative director's style.
I'm gonna
Either
get my
level
Switch.
design gets a little bit boring in places, or
I'm gonna
the
open
data
up
is
a random
duplicated so
song.
many times that it no longer fits on a Blu-ray disc.
Oh wait, no, there's
And
a
you
new
end up with
Super
hard
AI
limits
video
on the
or
player's
AI
run
channel
speed
China
or
video,
driving
but
speed.
I can't
The player
understand it
can't
right
go
now.
faster than the load speed from the hard drive. And finally, I'm sure many of you have noticed
I'm
that
back.
after a patch download, the PlayStation 4 will sometimes take a long time to install the patch.
Yeah, no shit.
That's
It took
because
me
when
like
just
10
part
years.
of a file has been changed, the new data can be downloaded pretty quickly. But before the game boots up, a brand new file has to be constructed that includes the changed portion. Otherwise, every change would
Why are you
add a
telling
seek or
us
two.
about files?
Even so, you can occasionally see this happening on game titles. They start to hitch once they get patched enough. With an SSD, though, no seeks. So no need to make brand new files with the changes
Origin,
incorporated,
go away. I'm
which
streaming.
means no installs as you know them today. There's yet one more benefit, which is that system memory can be
I'm gonna
used much
sit
more
on you.
efficiently. On PlayStation 4,
If you don't show a
data on the
game
hard
in
drive feels
10
very
minutes-
distant and difficult to use.
They're not gonna show a
By
game
the
in 10
time
minutes.
you realize you
Well,
need
not
a
the
piece
point.
of data, it's much too late to go out and load it. So system memory has to contain all of the data that could be used.
Says
for 30
half a
seconds or
million
so.
viewers.
That means a lot of the
Watch Mark
People are,
Cerny.
people are just saying Xbox
Just
One.
waiting there.
You are literally probably not even watching this.
On PlayStation
The
5, though,
Xbox
the
fans
SSD
and
is very
Sony fans
close
just
to
be
being
fighting
like
over
a
who has the
RAM.
better console
Typically,
right
it's
now. It's
fast
like,
enough that
guys,
you
I just
realize
want to
you need
play
pieces
Sonic
of
Unleashed.
You can just load it from the SSD and use it. There's no need to have lots of data parked in system memory waiting to potentially be used. A different way of saying that is that most of RAM is working on the game's behalf. This is one of the reasons that 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 feels right for PlayStation 5. The presence of the SSD reduces the need for a massive intergenerational increase in size. So back to the dream of the SSD. Here's the set of targets. Boot the game
I'm
in a
about to go
second.
get a drink.
No load screens, Design freedom, meaning no twisty
I'm just playing
passages or
Tetris
long
99.
corridors. More game on the disk and more game on the SSD. And finally, those patch installs go away. The reality, though, is that the SSD is just one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of places where bottlenecks can occur in between the SSD and the game code that uses the data. You can see this on PlayStation 4. If I use an SSD with 10 times the speed of a standard hard drive, I probably see only double the loading speed, if that. For PlayStation 5, our goal was not just that the SSD itself be 100 times faster. It was that game loads and streaming would be 100 times faster. So every single
That's not
potential
terrible.
bottleneck needed to be addressed.
Me
And there
watching
are
the
a lot
PS5 reveal. Shut the fuck up.
And what happens when
God
it's
damn.
100 times faster?
Wait, when you find that?
In is a
Shofu
pretty simple
posted that
process.
on
Data
Twitter,
is
just-
loaded into system memory from the hard drive or SSD. It's examined. A few values are tweaked to check it in, and then it's moved
Shut the
to its
fuck
final
up.
location. At the SSD speeds we're talking about, that last part, moving the data, meaning
Can you
copying
reveal
from one
NAC
location
3?
to another, takes roughly.
Can you
the
reveal
entire
Metal Gear
next
Solid
generation
6?
core. And that's
There's
just
actually something
because
happening here,
with
but
all the
the only
overhead
part that I thought was
hard
cool
drive,
was when he
that
showed
will
the
cripple
graph
frame
when
rate
he was
as
like,
soon as
"Oh,
the
this
player
is like how
moves, and
more
that
powerful it
massive
is."
stream of data starts coming off the
People
SSD.
on PS5
So
is
to
revealed
solve
and they
all
have
of that, we built
69
a lot
Tetra
of
shits per
custom
mega
hardware,
fart.
namely and a number of custom units to go with it.
It's a picture of
Flash
dinosaurs
controller in the
dying,
SSD was designed for smooth and bottleneck-free operation,
being
but
blown
also
away by
with games.
fire.
For example, there are 6 levels of priority when reading from the SSD. Priority is very important. You can imagine the player heading into some new location in the world and the game requesting a few gigabytes of texture. And while those textures
I feel
are
like
being loaded,
I feel like
an enemy
streaming
is
my
shot
reaction
and
was a
has to speak
mistake.
A few dying words. Having multiple
Wait, I had
priority
5
levels
unique
lets the
viewers
audio for those dying words
Yeah,
in my
me,
stream last
me,
night?
Me and me. You streamed last night?
On one
You
side,
did
that
tell
flash
me?
controller
Oh yeah, I forgot.
connects
Never mind,
to
you did tell
actual
me.
flash dies that
Yeah, I
supply
just
the
didn't tell other
storage.
people because I
To
thought people
reach
would
our
be mad.
bandwidth
Like,
target
I
of
literally
5
talked about that when I was
gigabytes a
discussing
second, we ended up
Jackbox with
with a
people, and they're
12-channel
like, "Oh yeah, I'm streaming," and then
8
they're like,
channels with the The resulting bandwidth we've achieved
That's what
is
Aiden sounds
actually
like,
5.5
because he's like
gigabytes a second.
a baby.
With a 12-channel interface, the most natural size that emerges
played
from an SSD
VR to
is
burn off
825
caffeine, and
gigabytes. The key question for us was,
I did anime
is that
openings.
enough?
It was
It's
horrible.
tempting to add
Why
more,
would I
but
want to
Flash
affiliate
certainly
with
doesn't come
Twitch?
cheap, and we have a responsibility to our gaming audience. to be
Bleach Anime
cost-effective
2021.
with regards to
Do you
what-
even what?
Ultimately, the
Is that what
result
the
was
chat
questioned
is
by
saying?
looking
I'm not
at
reading the
frame
Yeah,
chat.
that's what the
with a
chat said.
broad
That's what the
range
chat
of
said in
systems.
on the
We examined
PlayStation
the
stream.
specific
Someone said
games
this is
that were
ASMR.
playing over the
Someone
course
said
of a week.
Xbox.
I'm not even
Someone
reading the
on-
chat, I just-
nope, I accidentally.
Nick 3.
Games would fit properly.
Watch
still got
JoJo
off
Part
X.
5.
We were
Last of
able
Us
to
Part 2.
establish that the friction cost
PS6.
of reinstalls or re-downloads would be quite
Boring.
low, and so we
Price.
locked in on that 800
SSD, SSD,
Someone
SSD.
said something in-
multiple strategies so that those who
Man,
want more
why are people just
storage
spamming Z? It's
I'll
not
go through
original.
the details in a moment. Back to the Flash controller.
I'm gonna download
On the other
Duolingo
side,
right now and
connects to
learn
our main
Chinese. My
custom
mom
chip.
says it's
Custom
15
flash
minutes a day.
controller. What does
I
that?
already have it.
And
My mom says
inside the
15
main
minutes a
custom
day,
chip
but
is
I'm
a
gonna do an
pretty
hour.
special unit dedicated to
Yeah, you
iron.
can do an hour if you want. They have
Before we
options
talk
for that.
about
I'm gonna
what
do
that
all
does,
day,
let's talk
24 hours.
PlayStation 4 used zlib.
How do you say that in Chinese?
Whoa,
McLean?
crack!
We
Whoa, it's a
decided to use it
kraken.
again on PlayStation
I thought you said
5, but
crash, and I
in
looked up and I did
2017,
not
for
see
development,
orange.
How do you say that? How do you say that in
called
Chinese?
Kraken,
In Chinese.
the rad
Shut up! How am I supposed to know what
It's like
Chinese
zlib
is?
24
for
hours?
recovery. Simple, similar types of algorithms, but
Uh,
10%
how do I say
better,
hour?
which is pretty big. That means 10%
ETN,
more
I don't know,
gain
that's
than
one
you
day.
actually
What's
would
60?
get
What's
on
60
the
times
Kraken had only been
24?
out for a year, but it was already becoming a de facto
Oh.
industry standard. Half of the teams I talked
Okay,
to
well,
were
wait,
either
wait,
using
give me a
it or
second,
getting
give me a
ready
second.
to
If you go on my calculator, I'm gonna
so
do
we
that too.
hustled and built a
Give me a second,
custom
give me a second, give me a
decompressor
second.
into the
20
IO
times
It's
four?
1,440.
handling
I don't
over
get it.
5 gigabytes of Kraken format input data a second.
Kraken format.
After decompression, that
Kraken.
typically becomes 8 or 9 gigabytes. But the unit itself is capable of outputting as much as 22 gigabytes a second.
I'm gonna
if the
change
data happens to compress
Brendan's
particularly well.
nickname
By the way,
on
in
Mass
terms of
Sports the
performance,
Brendog.
that
And does he have
custom
it?
decompressor
Is he in Mass
equates to
Sports?
9 of our
What?
Zen 2
Wait, can I do that?
That's what it would take to decompress
Please don't.
the Kraken
You're gonna
stream
get
with
fired,
conventional
and
I
I'll
wonder
take
if I
your
can do
place.
There's
that.
a lot more.
They
Good.
want a Swagbert emote, but I don't think I have a good
Including
picture for a
dedicated DMA
Swagbert
controller. The
emote.
game can direct exactly where it wants to send the data coming off of the SSD.
Like, I got two
This
ads
equates
this
to
morning, so
another
I was like, oh, I
Zen 2
woke up, I looked at my phone, and I had
in terms of
two
its cost
at mentions, and it was
Its primary
Swagbert
purpose is to
emote.
remove
They
checkers
wanted a
as well.
Swagbert emote.
And where?
There's
In Mass
two
Esports, they said
dedicated IO
Swag,
co-processors
in
Devlin
and
and
community
Aiden
requests?
said
These
that.
aren't Zen 2 cores.
No, they
You
said it
said
in the
so?
general chat, they just
Direct
added
variety
me
of custom
twice.
hardware
No, Potato
or
said so. Wait, no, wait, no.
One of the coprocessors
so?
is
No, they
dedicated
just-
to SSD IO.
They said,
This lets us bypass traditional
MHEL
file IO
brand
and its
Bread
bottlenecks
Wars.
when reading
Yes,
from the
call it
SSD.
Bread Wars.
The other is
Poggers
responsible for
Aiden
memory
as
mapping,
map.
which I know
Then
doesn't
they did
sound
that
like
Where
it's
is
related
this?
to the
Then
SSD,
they said,
but a
we
lot of
need a
developers
Swagbert
map or
emote.
remap
Yes,
memory
yes,
as
at
part of file.
Swagbert 9000. At
And
Swagbert
this too
9000.
can
Do you have any funny photos of
Where
your
is
face
There
this?
are
on hand?
coherency
Where is this?
engines
In
to
general
assist
chat.
coprocessors. Coherency comes up a lot in places, probably.
I have a
Alright,
picture of
going back on the
Yang.
Switch. I'm going back on the Switch. I don't care about what they're saying.
Flushing all of the
General
GPU
chat
caches whenever
stuff.
the
I'm gonna
SSD
leave this, yeah,
is
this is boring.
is an unattractive option. It could really hurt the GPU.
Do I have any funny
performance.
photos? I have a bunch
we
of photos of me
implement
giving a
a
thumbs
gentler
up.
way
What'd I do at
of doing
those?
things, where the coherency engines inform the GPU of the overwritten address
general.
ranges, and custom scrubbers in several dozen GPU caches do pinpoint evictions of just those address ranges.
Where
The
is
best
this?
thing
There's
is, as a
something
game
new to
developer, when you
play.
read from the SSD, you don't need to know any of this. You don't even
Do you
need
have
to
any
know that
face,
your data
funny
is
photos of your face on hand?
You just indicate what data you
I still have his
like to read from the
autograph?
original
Why does
uncompressed
me
file,
90?
and
What
where
does
you
it mean
like to
975
and the
have your
whole process
autograph?
of loading
Remember
it
we're oh wait,
happens
yeah,
invisibly
you were
to
there
you
when we
and
did
very
Just
fast.
Dance. After we did Just
Back
Dance,
to
he
the
came over
dream.
and I signed his
Thanks
thing.
to
But
all
like
the
I
apps
can't
around
sign.
the
I don't know how to
5.5
do
gigabytes
cursive
that really
in
should
my
translate
in
into something
Swagbert. It's no
like
cursive in
100
McLean.
times faster IO than
Right.
PS4, and allow the dream
I have a picture of like
no
half
load
my
screen
face when I
and
took a picture
superfast
of
streaming
Ninja.
to become a reality. Having said
What?
that, expandability of our SSD is going to be quite
Alright,
important.
yeah.
But it's costly, and you may very well want to add storage to whatever
I'm
you
leaving
put
this.
in
This
the
is
console.
boring.
You're boring.
Now, the kind of storage
Yeah.
you need depends on how you're going
At least
to
not
use
This
it.
is-
Mark
is-
If you have
They
an
said this is
extensive
supposed to be like
PlayStation 4
53
library
minutes.
and
If
you'd
it's
like
just
to take
53
advantage
minutes
the
of
backwards
specs,
compatibility
At least
to
I'm
play
not
those games
Mark
on PlayStation
Sony.
5, then a
Oh, wait, I have a
large
picture of me
external
doing a
hard drive is
troll
ideal.
face.
You can leave your games on the hard drive and play them directly from
Do
there,
that. I have a
thus
picture. I have a
saving
better picture of me
pricier
doing a
SSD
troll face.
storage for your PlayStation 5 titles, or you can
It's my
copy your
Quizlet
active PlayStation
avatar.
4 titles to the SSD. If your purpose in
What
adding more
is?
storage is to play
Me, my
PlayStation
troll
5
troll
titles,
face.
though,
Troll face
ideally you
me.
would add to your SSD
Quiz
storage.
let
They will be supporting certain M2
.com.
SSDs.
What's my
These are
Quizlet
internal
avatar?
drives
It's
that
like
you
it
can
has
buy on
like
the open
filter
market
on it. It's
and
like the
install
I used it
and
using the
play your
iPad
PlayStation
photo
5.
booth
As
thing
for
that
which
used to be on the
ones
iPad.
and when, I'll get to that in a moment. They connect through the custom IO unit.
I'm gonna
just
go
like
ask for
our
lunch.
SSD does. So they can take full
I want a
advantage of
Shamrock
decompression,
Shake.
IO coprocessors, and
Can you still
all
get
the other
those?
features I was talking
Maybe, probably.
Here's the catch, though. That
Please let me
commercial
get a
drive
Shamrock
has
Shake.
to
I
be
might
twice
join-
as
I don't
fast
want
as
to go to
Games that
McDonald's.
rely on the
You
speed
don't
of
want to
our
go to
SSD need to
McDonald's.
work
I'm gonna go through the
flawlessly.
drive-through and order a
No,
Shamrock.
the
When I
Shamrock
gave
Shake is still
Wired
coming
to
out of
you last
McDonald's.
year, I said that the PlayStation 5
But I
SSD
really
is
want a
faster than
Shamrock
anything
Shake.
available on
I don't think you should do that.
At the time,
I'm gonna ask my
virtual
parents to
M2
make a
drives
Shamrock
was
Shake for me.
2.0, and 4 lanes of that
oh.
cap out at 3.5.
If I can go to McDonald's
In
and
other
get a
words,
Shamrock.
no
I said earlier
PCIe,
today, so
taking
I was
no drive,
very hungry. It's like,
required
look, we may be under quarantine, but
M2
McDonald's
drive
has the
is
Shamrock
PCIe
Shake.
4.0
If
and
I have to
remote,
possibly get a
we're
virus
getting
but get a
our
Shamrock Shake,
examples.
or do nothing and not get a Shamrock
4
Shake,
or 5
then I would
gigabytes
choose the
per second.
Shamrock Shake.
By year's end,
Wait, when
I
did
expect there will be
John
drives
Lester send us an
saturating
email?
4.0
Today.
and support 7
Today?
gigabytes a second.
Yes.
Having said that,
I didn't get it.
we are comparing apples and oranges, though, because that commercial M2 drive
Apples,
Oh, no, she did, she did,
Apple.
flash controller, and so on. For example, the NVMe
whenever they say
specification
flash
lays out a
controller, I
priority
think
scheme
they're
for
talking
requests
about the
that
actual
M2
like
drives can
controller,
use.
not just like
And
a
that
chip.
scheme is pretty nice, but it only
Okay,
has
that's chill.
2 true priority levels.
Alright.
Our drive
Dear
supports 6.
students,
We can hook up a drive with only 2 priority levels, definitely.
Why
but our
new
custom
server?
custom I/O unit
Why
has
is there
to
why
output the
have there been
priority
3 servers for
rather than
Bruv
the M2 drive's
Esports?
flash controller, and so the M2 drive needs a little extra speed to take care of issues arising from the different approach. That commercial drive also needs to physically fit inside of the bay we created in PlayStation
I'm gonna
5
go
for M2 drives.
I'm gonna call Brandon.
Unlike internal hard drives,
I'm gonna call
there's
Brandon.
unfortunately
Brandon
no
won the
standard
pickle.
for the height of an M2 drive, and some M2 drives have giant heat sinks. In fact, some of them even have their own
Why am I following this person?
Right
Did
now,
you get
we're
porn on
getting
your
M2
timeline?
drive samples.
No,
and
it's like it's
benchmarking
so.
them
I'm following someone on
When
Instagram,
games
and like
hit
they were.
beta
I
as they
had an
get ready for
animation course with them
PlayStation
over the
5
summer,
launch
and they were
year
super
end, we'll also
chill,
be doing
like
some
in class, and they were like
to
good
make
too.
sure that the
And then they
architecture
just
particular M2 drive
posted
isn't too
nasty,
foreign for the
most
games to
nasty
handle.
stuff on their
Once
on
we
their
Origin,
story.
discover
please go
compatibility,
away.
On
Like
their story?
they
Be able to start
post
letting you know which
Rainbow
drives will
Dash
physically
dying in a
fit
jar of
and which
piss.
drives
That's not piss.
It
No,
would
it
be
is.
great if that happened by law.
It is.
Oh,
Likely to be a
Oh,
big
he
yes.
doesn't know. He doesn't know. He
Love
doesn't
of
know.
the M2 drive.
He doesn't
No.
know.
Also come. Piss
Okay,
and come at the
back
same
to
time.
our
It's like it's actually disgusting.
Balancing evolution and revolution.
Scott the Wise
is
tweeted,
essential.
"It's hard
This
to
was
get excited for the
definitely a recurring
PS5 and
theme
Series
in
X when literally all Sony and Microsoft are showing
We
us is
need
how
new
they can
GPU
play
features and
PS4 and
capabilities.
Xbox One games
Like, we only
faster."
have more performance. It's not really a
Calling
new
Brand.
generation.
Why do I have 4
Of
contacts
course,
for Anna
many of
Zhang?
these capabilities result in
They're all exactly the same. I don't. I just scroll down to the bottom of my contacts. I just see Anna Zhang, Anna Zhang, Anna Zhang, Anna Zhang.
Make a fifth one.
Also need the ability
No, I
to do
don't.
something
How?
with the GPU
How do I
that
make
could
another
not
one that's
have been
exactly the same?
Do
I don't think
it.
it's possible. Okay, I'm gonna
performance
put
per
Brandon.
watt. Every time we double the performance of some GPU component, we don't want to find out we've doubled the power consumed.
Why is Brandon
and
like
the heat
never
produced.
free in the day? I don't understand.
But at
He
the
never-
same time, we have to make sure the GPU can run PS4 games, and we have to ensure that the architecture is easy for the developers to adopt. Now, backwards compatibility was handled masterfully by AMD. They
Okay, so
treated it
apparently
as
this
a
might
key
have been the
need throughout the design process.
GDC
As our solution to
presentation that they
adding
were
new
supposed to
features
have.
without blindsiding
Oh.
But
customers,
since GDC was
we made
canceled,
sure
that's
that
what
Oh,
it
if
was.
there
is that
were
what?
new
Is that why it's
significant
so
features,
boring?
it would
Yeah,
be
that's why it's so
optional to
boring.
use.
I
They
thought-
they
I thought they were-
advertised this horribly.
They
Go to
advertised this as
PS5?
if they advertised it as if it was like a state of play, like showing off games and what the console looked like. I'm
Before I
probably
get
gonna
into the
stop my
capabilities of
stream
the
before
GPU,
they finish
I'd like to
talking
make clear
about
2
it.
points that can be quite
Because
confusing.
There's no way this
First,
PS5
we have a
presentation
custom
is almost
AMD
half an hour in and they're
based on
still
the
talking about the SSD.
What does that mean?
You know what?
AMD is continuously
By
improving and
12:30,
revising
if
their
they
tech.
if
For
I don't
RDNA2,
care
their
about it, then
goals
I'm
were,
stopping
roughly
the stream.
to reduce power consumption by re-architecting
And
the
it's
GPU
almost
to put data
12:30,
close to
so
where
I'm
it's
probably
needed,
gonna stop the
to
stream soon.
optimize the GPU for
Yeah,
performance
that's what Arlo
and to adding
YouTube
new,
said.
more
Arlo
advanced features.
Muppet. Mark
But that
Sony
feature
about to
set is
drop Knack
malleable,
3 is
which
what
is to
Donkey
say that we
tweeted.
have our own needs for PlayStation.
Yeah, so
and
the
that
crowd is
can
CGI. It's a
what
CGI
the
crowd.
roadmap
It's
I knew
this
it. I
whole
knew it.
presentation is
Collaboration
really
is
creepy.
important.
I don't know.
Bring concepts
This whole
that
presentation
are
is
felt to
off-putting.
be widely
He
Is
useful,
this CGI
and
crowd?
they can be adopted into
Why would they have a
RDNA
crowd?
and used broadly, including in PC GPUs. If the ideas are sufficiently specific to what we're trying to accomplish,
And they're not moving.
like the GPU cache
No,
scrubbers
they are
I was
moving.
talking about, then they end up being just for us. If you see a
like
similar
really
discrete GPU available as a PC
They kinda
component
look like,
roughly
yeah,
the same
you're right.
time as we release our console, that means our collaboration with AMD succeeded in producing technology useful in both worlds. It doesn't mean that we as Sony simply incorporated the PC part into our console. This continuous improvement in AMD
No, that guy moved.
technology
Yeah, yeah, right. That guy did
to
move.
rely on teraflops
Yeah,
as
they-
an
they all
absolute
moved at one
indicator
point.
of performance. And
CGI.
CPU should be avoided as
I
possible.
don't.
In the case of
Just-
CPUs,
it still
we
is
all
really
understand
creepy. Why are they all blacked
PlayStation
out?
4 and PlayStation 5 each have 8
Lighting.
CPUs, but we never think that
don't
meant
like
the
it. It's-
capabilities and performance.
Mark Sony doesn't look like he's
It's the
there.
same for CUs. For one thing, they've been getting much
The stands
larger over
doesn't look
time.
real.
Adding new features means adding lots of transistors.
Someone
In
just wrote,
fact, the
laugh,
transistor
laugh,
count
Corona.
for a PlayStation 5 CU
Read the
is
description.
62% larger than the transistor count for a PlayStation 4 CU. Second, the PlayStation 5 GPU is backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. What does that mean? One way
I don't
we can
know,
achieve
Mark Sony. What does that
is
mean?
to put the previous console
PlayStation-
If you
in the new
Oh, they put a
console, like we did with some
PS2 inside the
PlayStation 3s.
PS3?
But that's
What?
of course
I'm
extremely
confused.
Wait, wait, this might be good.
a better
Oh, backwards
way to
compatibility. Oh,
incorporate
okay.
any differences in the previous console's logic into the new console's custom chips.
They literally
Meaning
talked
that
about backwards
even as the
compatibility earlier. They
technology
just said it in
evolves,
different
the
words.
logic and feature set
Oh,
that
is it
PlayStation
just
4
PS4?
and PlayStation 4 Pro titles rely on
Oh, you could
is
put,
still
like, 2
available
more
in
words on
backwards
that shit.
compatibility modes. One advantage
You could
of
put
this strategy is
3,
that
2,
once
and
backwards
1.
compatibility is in the console,
And possibly
it's in.
P and
It's
Vita
not
as
as
well.
if a cost down will remove backwards compatibility like it did on PlayStation 3. Achieving this unification of functionality
Is
took
that all they're
years of
saying for
efforts by AMD,
backwards
as
compatibility?
any roadmap
If you look at the
advancement
YouTube
creates a
tags, you can
potential
see that
divergence
there
in
are
logic.
ray tracing and
Running
SSD. I think it's
PS4 and
confirmed that the
PS4
PS5 will
titles
have
at boosted
those.
frequencies
So why do we
also
spend
added
30
complexity.
minutes talking about it?
Okay, you know what? I'm stopping the stream. They're not even done talking, but I'm stopping the stream. So,
results are excellent. We
thanks.
recently took a
South
look at the
Korean
top 100
presenter.
PlayStation 4
Sony,
titles
here's an
ranked by
NPC
Playtime,
character from
and
The
we're expecting
Sims.
almost all of
thank
them
you
to be
for
playable
watching
at
the
launch
stream.
on PlayStation.
Mark Sony,
With regards
has
to new
wasted
features, as I
30
said,
minutes of
our
my life.
strategy was to try to
So,
break new ground,
yeah.
but at the same time,
Thanks
This
for
was
watching the
poorly
stream.
advertised. This was really poorly advertised.
capability.
I agree.